Hello. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most utilized and most important tools for a pack-out carpenter, even in a shop, obviously in a big shop. But that tool that we're talking about is the portable table saw. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys my personal favorite. It is just an opinion. It's not a fact. I'm not sponsored by anyone. No one's paying me to report this information. But I can tell you, with 7 years of use of different models in the field, 7 years in a shop, this is my personal favorite portable table saw, all of which cost under $1,000, which was a great startup price for a carpenter looking to get in the game. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. So the saw we're going to be talking about today is the DeWalt 7491, more specifically the DWE 7491 table saw that I have on a portable stand. You'll also see an image or video of what that stand serial number is. I bought them in a combo because to me there's no point of having a portable table saw without a solid portable stand to make safe, effective, and efficient cuts. So the things I want to talk about primarily in this are the ease of packing in, packing out, the pound for pound power given the size of the saw, how easy this thing folds up, folds out, comes back in. The fence adjustments are absolutely phenomenal on this thing. Everything's very simplified. Everything's very basic on this saw, but it's just enough and it's strong enough and sturdy enough that I don't feel like I'm going to snap it off whenever I need to make adjustments. Whether or not it's the riving knife, one thing that's very nice about this saw is that the riving blade that goes behind the saw blade to help your boards from binding, that release on this model is actually on the side, and it's a little pop. It's a little pop handle, which is a huge time saver as opposed to those old have to take them in and screw them out. Another thing that I really like about this saw is the fence. The fence is a pretty quick action guide set. Now again, for me, I never use the measure tape that's built into the table base. I always use my tape measure when I'm measuring here. But the fence is pretty stable. I'm not sure if there's upgrades for it. I'm sure there are. I don't know if Bessemer makes an upgrade for a portable table saw. But this fence has worked just fine. And I have run thousands of feet of trim through this and lumber, but mostly trim through this table saw. Something else I want to talk about with the power, no matter what size saw you have, your cuts are generally speaking only going to be as good as your blade. So you're going to put unnecessary strain on the motor if your blade is dull and your carbides are knuckled down. Got to have a fresh blade, got to keep it sharpened. Find a sharpening service near you or budget into your build a new blade prospectively. But just to show you throughout this whole video, this blade has not been replaced since I bought it. I bought the saw in August of 2020, and I've run a couple thousand feet of trim and about 200 or 300 linear foot of 4/4 lumber through it as well. Hardwood, oak, and mahogany primarily. Now, I'm not going to speed things up. I want to show you real-time cuts here just so you get a feel for how fast this saw likes to move. I'm pushing at the rate that the saw is telling me to. I'm listening for bog down, motor burnout, any additional strain, flex on the fence, or if my boards are going to warp. I'm cutting without the riving knife, which is not recommended. I just did it for this video, and I did it to release to see how this board was going to move with the tension that was in it. It was in the back of my truck bed for like 2 weeks. Okay, now talking about my dust collection system here, I've set this up to operate more like a mobile unit as opposed to my shop outfit. So I don't have central dust collection. What I'm using is a rigid portable, I call it the lunchbox shop vac. And then I have a little dust devil they sell at Home Depot for like $50. And I'm just running it through a 5-gallon bucket. So it goes table saw to tornado, 5-gallon bucket into my shop vac, which saves a lot of time and a lot of material and a lot of bags or HEPA filters because that bucket takes out all the large material. And when you're running a table saw doing millwork, that's a lot of what you get. And it makes sure that you have a lot of constant suction power for the small dust. And as you can see, this table saw does a really good job of centralized dust collection within its own unit. Now I want to add in two things. The first is, and it's a complaint on this unit, is that the extension cord is not long enough. And as you can see here, I'm just a big fan of longer extension cords to minimize if you forget the extension cord on the job site, or to minimize draw of power if you're using connections. So I would prefer it if it was a longer extension cord. Looking at the mechanisms for bevel, the angle of the blade, the depth of the blade cut, I do want to say that everything is incredibly user-friendly and fairly easy. If you want to cut at a 45 degree, you simply pull the handle and push it up and the meter will read 45. If you want to use your own calipers, obviously that's advised for precise work, but this is not necessarily a precision saw. Alright guys, now obviously I'm not sponsored by DeWalt, I'm not getting paid to promote this, this is just my opinion. But I'm about to show you why it is one of my favorite saws. One of my favorite components about this saw is getting in and out of a job site. So I'm going to do this in real time for you guys, and I even biff it on the exit from the truck bed. But this thing just packs up incredibly easily, and it unloads incredibly easily. Again, this is real time, and I've got nothing to hide. Do I look like an idiot getting out of the truck bed solo? Yes, but after a long day of work, unloading a table saw by yourself is not exactly the easiest thing. And like I said, I got nothing to prove here. I'm just a fan of this table saw, and if you're cruising on YouTube and you're looking for an option on what to spend your money on under $1,000, I would definitely recommend this table saw for the following reasons. 1, it's incredibly cost-effective pound for pound. 2, big fan of all the components. I think all of the high-impact plastic and all the build-ons on this thing, knobs, everything that's mechanical and turns is definitely a step above their last model. Motor's got plenty of power. I'm a big fan of the fence setup. A huge fan of the riving knife detachment handle. Big fan of the fact that you can shut this switch off with your hip pretty easily. And I love, 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 love the fact that you can fold it, unfold it, fold it so easily. Given the fact that it might be a little difficult to load into a truck or an SUV yourself, it's still relatively easily. And that's why I believe the DWE 7491 DeWalt table saw is the best table saw for a portable job site or carpenter who does pack out work for under $1,000. Thanks for hanging out. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, do so. We're going to have lots of shop videos coming up this year. That is our goal for 2021, to take the past decade of experience that we've built up, wasting a good portion of our lives in a shop, to share with you, so you don't have to. So please, subscribe, like. If you guys want us to do any tips specifically for you, you got any questions about anything, comment below. Let us know, and we will do our best to create a video that makes sense for you. Hope this helped. See you next time.